Coastline and Maverick bans demo. Seems to be something that's becoming a little bit of a trend.
It has been. And instead of the more often factor ban that usually comes in after that, we're seeing Finka be banned away. We've mentioned, Ollie, plenty of times about the Iana Finka meta that Brazil has been running quite a lot, where they've been bringing not only just Iana, which has been, you know, it's been quite the main staple of a lot of attacking lineups in the meta at the moment, but then Finka being brought as that secondary entry as pretty much the exact same loadout as the Two Names has the Gone 6, of course, and Fantasy ain't too happy with that. He's not happy. First up, we're going to go to Blue Bar and Sunrise. So, the thing with Blue Bar and Sunrise is kind of what we've seen so far with how Brazil have been playing this bomb side. It has been not as heavy of a roam game as what people maybe would expect. I think teams have been happy enough to give up hookah control and give up in towards the billiards. Teams, though, have been definitely prioritizing kitchen quite a bit. We've seen a lot of kitchen holds these days. I think with Castle kind of making an appearance, also it helps out anyone inside a kitchen. But usually we see the defense play pretty aggro and really try and take the gunfights to the attackers as much as they can. In terms of FaZe and how they usually like to play this, it's usually pretty direct. And they do like to try and target kitchen. They like to get in there very quickly, establish good control. It gives them good options for rotations, also cuts off any rotations that the defenders might want to make as well between bomb sites. So there is plenty of options for them.
Let's see how we get around this first round. So we've got FaZe starting off here on the attack. Still not really decided, is it, Demo, as to which is the more favoured side here. There's certainly favoured sites. FURIA starting off on the defence. They're going to be taking us down to double bar. Always a bit of a strange one. You don't see a lot of teams start off downstairs in blue and Sunrise. But they've extended over into kitchen. They've got a bit of presence here inside of office. Opening kill very early on here. Fancy. Going to find one onto cameraman. It's immediately traded, though, as Bullet takes down Lender. A presence inside of office no longer. Cyber, nice little rotation angle that he's going to be holding. Fancy moving through security in an attempt to try and retake onto ground that has already been given away here. Could find himself with a couple of options here. Grabs one onto Souls. Great shot there coming through. And a second onto Astro. How is he allowed to do this? Bullet eventually shuts him down, but the damage has been done.
If there's one guy you don't want to have a good game, it's Fantasy, and FaZe have gifted him an opening free piece, Ollie. And FaZe, you see straight away as soon as those kills come in, Cyber thought, okay, I have to do something, and he just jumped straight into Son with no real info. That's a great pick, though, from Bullet. He's on his own free kick. Could be the battle between Fantasy and Bullet, two players that we've highlighted intensively throughout the course of the season, two very high-name players for each of their teams, and I'm loving this rotation from Cyber. If he can maybe try and sneak his way in and eliminate Highs, and he does just that. What a great rotate from Cyber, and now Rare is on the back foot. He doesn't have a lot of HP either. One bullet from either of the FaZe players will be enough to take him out. ARX does a lot of damage. Great RPM also. Rare, how's he going to play this? Nomad it off, Diffuser going down. Flashbangs being tossed out to try and keep him at bay. Diffuser will be successfully planted, and Rare has to go for the retake. Will take out the Nomad charge, but they know exactly where he's going to be, and Cyber will finish it off. Wow, what a great 2v3 from FaZe.
Incredible stuff. Bullet really putting a shift in there. And as FURIA, you've got to be sat back and wondering, how's that just happened, guys? Like, how have we just let that one slip? There was a lot of players caught peeking from FURIA, and Bullet was there to take full advantage of it. A couple of players getting caught really flat-footed. Highs taken out inside of kitchen was a bit of a problem as well. Just totally unaware of the sort of silent approach that Cyber was able to make. A round that really has just slipped out of FURIA's fingers. I'll tell you, Demo, if this best of 3 is just going to be watching Fantasy and Bullet go for the old anything you can do I can be better in terms of multi-kills and flashy plays, I'm here for it. I'll watch it all day long.
This is going to be just another bloodbath, isn't it? Just an absolute mental case of a game, and I'm up for it. I'm 100% up for it. I mean, if this is going to be a similar story to the last game that we had between both of these sides on Coastline, it was, you know, what a game. Game of the season for me by far. We had probably one of the best clutches you'll see anywhere this year from Souls, that beautiful 1v3 that he had against FURIA. So it's just going to be a great game. It really is, and I'm excited to see who's going to take it. Obviously, I know all of you want the FURIA boys to win. I'm obviously going to want the FaZe boys to win.
I mean, it's only natural, isn't it?
I mean, you usually don't have like differences, like disagreements of who's going, who do you think's going to win. Me and you are usually just straight to the point. We usually agree on the same things, but FaZe and FURIA, you think FURIA's best, I think FaZe is the best.
Well, it will be decided here. By the end of today, we will get a...
Shall we make it interesting?
We're going to go for a wager.
You shave your beard if FaZe win?
What are you going to do?
I'll shave my beard.
You haven't got one! It's not a fair wager.
What do you mean it's not a fair wager? And ooh, that's a fair fight though. Cyber just swings on in, eliminates Highs, and now FURIA on the back foot straight away, and that is Aqua Control immediately in the hands of FaZe. That is a good start for them. Still a few roamers to deal with, but FaZe are ready for it. Lenda finds him. Did Cyber maybe think that was an alibi clone, because it was in a position that you maybe wouldn't expect somebody to be playing. Bullet has the refrag though, and Lenda goes down, so FaZe still in the lead now. And still even more so in the lead as Souls will find Fantasy, and FaZe are really applying the pressure to FURIA.
Miracle just trying to hold on from Vars there. He's the option to rotate on through. Knows that there's going to be an increasing amount of pressure here, and the shotgun at close range could be all that is left, but even that is not going to be enough. Astro going to pop the corner. He's got the LMG in hand. He can pre-fire that all day long.
Easy as you like, really there for FaZe. FURIA didn't really have any inkling into getting into that round, and I don't know, FaZe just seems as if they knew what to swing and when to swing, and just right timing really fell for them. Not much you can really analyze. It was a pretty heavy roam game from FURIA. The fact that they lost the man immediately in Aqua probably didn't help them. You do have to wonder, okay, if you're holding Aqua, why was the player in, you know, such an easy position just to get swung? Usually would see somebody in behind blue bar. You know, a shield would also assist if you really want to hold on to Aquarium. FURIA, again, change up their bomb site, going straight over now to Penthouse and Fear.
FURIA need to keep these revolutions moving just to see where they can find a little bit of success here. They're getting punished in the early part of the round. So aside from round 1 when Fantasy gets 3, but it's not enough. You know, you need to be consistently being able to trade off those opening kills, and so far FaZe have just found themselves on the right side of everything. FURIA getting caught out for that aggressive playstyle that they want to bring. But you're not really given much of another option here when defending on Coastline. You can't really heavily anchor in and rely on being able to sit inside of sight. That isn't a comfort that you're afforded. You've got to be playing out there, and you've got to be harassing and lurking on the roam. But if you're unable to even do that, you've got to start asking questions about where these rounds are going to come from.
Moving in. FURIA, once again on that roam game, no surprise. Of course. The kills, only 3 players of FURIA still yet to get off the mark. Almost everyone from FaZe having at least a kill apart from Cameraman there. The main idea for FaZe, it seems to be standard VIP take, opening up that double reinforced wall. And with Thatcher being open, really shouldn't be an issue. You don't have to worry about going below and trying to eliminate tide charges, which, you know, we have seen teams struggle with opening this wall, down to teams banning Thatcher and also banning Maverick on this map. So it makes things just a little bit easier, gives you that time to play with, and already, you have 2 minutes now. You have that main breach open, which is pretty much all you need to walk into sight. That's a great C4 from Fantasy. Tosses it in the perfect angle just to float right behind Bullet. He's off the rappel. Cyber has to take up the same position. This double window is a key position, and looks to FURIA. They're going to try and deny FaZe as much as they can, make sure nobody can play in that strong pause.
Astro going to be starting to move his way through now. Inside of VIP. Wall left soft, who's able to open it up and start to pressure on into the side. Gets a chunk of damage there from Fantasy. Still, players lurking below. FURIA have done a much better job here of getting that opening kill and keeping themselves alive here. They've still got information to play with inside of VIP. Cyber on that rappel has the option to get back up. Of course, playing on the Nomad. Nice and safe option to watch out for the runouts. Fantasy, though, going to be shut down. Cameraman, he's been able to push his way in through Aquarium. He's actually got a really nice angle there into Theatre. Be a little bit of a problem. Goyo Shield on the 90. So can be destroyed if required. But with direct access to the site and the potential for a player to be out there on rappel, still could be quite difficult here. Despite the little control that FaZe have got, a plant could be on.
3 seconds to go for FaZe, and the only thing they have to worry about is the underneath control that FURIA have in their hand, using the vertical angles. Souls will spot out the Goyo, though. There is still a C4 in the back pocket, and Lenda will try and utilize that. Souls tiptoes away at the perfect time, and the C4 is gone now, so FURIA have lost their only form of denial. Astro eliminates Miracle, and Souls is straight in after that kill to try and get this plant down. Astro with the LMG in hand will try and move over to the bomb chassis and raining down covering fire. A great little slip from Cyber, finds 2 on the back end. And Landa is caught lacking below. Cameraman using the holes to his advantage. Wow, what a clean up from FaZe. As soon as that kill came in, Souls was right in the money, ready for that plant.
The information that FaZe have got as well is second to none. They even know that players are going to be underneath there. It was a live ping that alerted to the final player playing below, alerted to Lenda. Great use of the drones from FaZe. And a nice take. It's not always that you see that take work out for the attackers. It can be a little bit of a difficult one to get control of VIP. Last time we saw these two teams play, that's something that FaZe struggled with the most, was getting into VIP. It was one of their biggest problems. And this time, they just took a little bit more effort and a little bit more care out of things. And look, they're able to win the 4 versus 5 in the end. Opening pick not mattering at all there. FaZe continue the streak, and FURIA still looking for an answer. This was probably the closest that they got. Double bar. Round number 1. Fantasy, 3K. And the rest of FURIA fell. Wonder if they can repeat some of that success. It was a very direct approach through Office that FaZe tried to pull off. I doubt that they're going to go for something as direct again. But the confidence at the moment, Demo, it's got to be with the FaZe boys.
Yeah, it is. I mean, FURIA up. Momentum behind them. FURIA, we've seen over the course of the season, Ollie, is whenever they fall behind early, they just look deflated, don't they? I think back to that MIBR game that they had. 7-1 they got beaten. Didn't look as if they were in the game at all. And I fear that the same thing might happen for them now.
Certainly very possible. Especially if that momentum really starts to get away from themselves. Given what FaZe are looking to try and create here, it really looks as though these boys are going for legacy. They want to be known as the best team, regardless of the circumstance. It's also nice to see FaZe come out and be happy to come back to Coastline. You know, be happy to come back to that map that was so close in the regular stage. The map that we sort of build as one of the most entertaining games of Siege that we've watched. You know, these two teams going at it. Nice for FaZe to come back here and go, yeah, it was an overtime loss last time. This time we're looking to make it a win. Fantasy, 1 for 1. Immediately taken out there. The cover from the roof as Cameraman is going to be in position. Does it feel lost? It's going to be a bit of utility. Certainly some pushing power.
Yeah. You see Astro as well. I think he's been great just with that LMG. Always a constant kind of fear in the back of FURIA's minds whenever FaZe have prioritized trying to get that plant down. You're not running into an LMG just spraying and playing for all that they're worth. And Rare will be pushed out now as the Gone 6 eliminates the shields, and Nade also to assist. They didn't even really need to drop. There's a Wamai just protecting him, but still decides to take the plunge anyway. FaZe have really went all in and taken above. Rare still in the full vibe stairs, can try and make something happen, but nobody. FaZe is really knocking at his door right now. Not entirely sure what FaZe want to go for, really what they're set up to do. A lot of them still scattered around the outskirts of the map, but we'll see as time moves on. Office, not even interested for FaZe. They don't even want to go to that side of the map. But say that, though, Soul starts to maybe rotate over. The only issue, Ollie, is that going for a quick rotate and trying now to take Office is they're not leaving themselves with the best amount of time. They only have a minute to go now.
Yeah, time really not on the side of FaZe, but they don't need that much of it. Should be able to make something happen here. FURIA doing a better job in these rounds of staying alive for a little bit longer. Bit of a panic C4 there from Lender. I thought it might come through, but it won't. Instead, he's going to find one onto Cyber, but immediately taken on out of the action. Rare and Miracle, they do their job upstairs as Cameraman is looking to try and push through. 1 versus 3. Not going to be the easiest time of things for Cameraman, especially with the diffuser where it is. FURIA finally picked themselves up around here. It was almost inevitable at this point. Zeping's coming out there for highs, easy as he likes. Finally, FURIA get one on the board.
Yeah, finally. I mean, FaZe got to around the halfway mark of that round, and they didn't really know what they wanted to go for. I was worried that they're kind of really fine to try and take in towards Office, and I think that kind of came true for them. FURIA were then kind of able to rotate. A lovely little rotate from security from FURIA to get that trade-off on the Souls, and as soon as you lose that diffuser outside in that position, extremely difficult for FaZe to really make it back into that round. So yes, like you said, FURIA finally on the board, get their first round up. Still have plenty more rounds to play out. Going upstairs to Hookah next. So last time we seen Hookah, FaZe just kind of swung a lot of angles all in one of their gunfights. We didn't really see the bomb site be pressured at all. Most of it was kind of situated towards the penthouse and Fear side of things. FURIA, very heavy roam, and it didn't really work for them. Wonder if going to be the similar story again. I mean, a look at their lineup, definitely can roam. You see on Mozzie, you see in Fantasy, of course, you expect to be roaming on really any operator he's on. And then obviously highs on the Melusi, so they definitely do have a capable roaming lineup.
Let's see if they're able to put it to any sort of use here. Still a chance to salvage this for FURIA as well, especially given the start that they had. 3-3 split would be fairly favourable at this moment in time. I'm just hoping, in my deepest heart of hearts demo, that whenever we get FURIA onto the attack, they don't fall for that same C4 from Cyber that they fell for twice. It was a brilliant moment. Cyber and his C4s. If it happens again, I think I will lose my mind.
Okay.
And I think that Twister will probably lose his mind as well.
I'll find the mine. I'll give it back.
It'd just be rolling on the floor somewhere.
Mine's been lost since week 1.
Yeah?
Enough. Yeah. Starting to get there. Starting to come back to me in pieces, I think. Getting them in the post now again. Oh. FaZe. Saying up a little bit differently this time, Ollie. More so of a structure take. They've opened up the VIP walls. It's not the same swing city as what we've seen beforehand. FURIA, once again, lost that opening pick. Fantasy is a bit hit or miss today, isn't he, Ollie? Either gets the opening pick or doesn't. He gets a lot of opening deaths also, which I suppose is the kind of trade-off if you are the main man who we expect to see in those opening engagements. Is we could see him have an opening death, and unfortunately for FURIA, Fantasy not having the greatest of times right now. That is a great pinch, though, from FURIA, eliminating Cyber, and now FaZe are on the back foot. They do have control of their VIP and their penthouse, but still do not have control of the bottom floor, and even the main stairs. Landa finds an easy kill. Miracle finds Cameraman, and FaZe stunned themselves a 1v4 for Souls in a blink of an eye. They're all dead.
This is the FURIA that we're expecting coming into today. Not a FURIA that's just going to roll over and let things happen, let the round run away from them. They've really taken control of this one. Souls left in the clutch. Does have a minute. There's one player that can do it. It's going to be Souls. He's got so much to wade through. C4 from Rare. Two Toxic Babe canisters make it one now as one is expended. He's giving the game away. Everyone is going to be calling out that 90. Even a chance at a flank on through luggage. FURIA shouldn't really want to aggress too much onto this. They're just going to sit back and take those pot shots. It's going to be rare to pick up that final kill. That's the call. Nice little pre-fire there through the wall.
Easy enough. Easy enough for FURIA to pull that round back. And FaZe 2 rounds slip for them. FURIA, momentum slowly starting to shift in their favor. Round 6 takes us. This is the last round in the half before FURIA will then move on to the attack, and FaZe then on to the defense. I've been fairly impressed with how FURIA have managed to get themselves back into this game, Ollie. Instead of kind of FaZe having all the swings and having all the information and taking these insane gunfights, now we're having FURIA do the reverse. We're having FURIA take these swings, take these gunfights, and winning them very convincingly. FaZe, what are you going to do differently? Doesn't look as if the lineup has changed too much. Pretty much the same lineup as what we've seen time after time. I don't think, it is strange to see Fantasy continuously to bring up the Kai, which is a bit strange for me because I think, what's the point of bringing the Kai when you know Thatcher's going to be chosen anyway?
Yeah, it's a little bit odd, isn't it? There's other players that you can go to, or sorry, other operators that you can go to for a C4. There's other things that you could be bringing to the table. Think about the Wamai pick that Fantasy regularly finds himself on, or somebody on FURIA does, and maybe even a Mozzie, you know, just grab another Roni. We know what these players can do with a P10 Roni. Just get as many of those on the board as possible. I don't think it's going to do too much to slow down FaZe. It does look as though he is playing just on the edge of VIP. There he is. He's already head hanging out of the window. He's got a chance actually at one here. He's going to go for the C4 toss. It's just going to land a little bit too far.
Slip the drone in, swaps out the shield. Well, gonna Renegade to go through before that. Some openings, trying to hold on that double window. We've seen FURIA put a lot of pressure onto that double window. We've seen C4s being tossed out the window. Some big ego challenges, I would say, also from FURIA. That's the same happening again. Oh, Fantasy, I'm surprised he hasn't got a headshot there. Very unfortunate. The wall will be opened, and Fantasy is looking to swing onto the breach, and he will find a kill. Cameraman is prepping the EMP grenade, and he gets caught out. Solzo has the refrag, but that's still a great pick. Fantasy, being able to get a kill there, he's done extremely well for himself.
You kind of knew that he was going to be playing aggressively until the end there, as soon as you see him challenging onto the breach, but it's worked out for him in that instance. He's found 1-for-1. He already expended his C4, so it's not like that utility has gone with him as well. Now, hope to hop onto the cameras and see if there's anything else that he can provide. VIP is clear for the taking at the moment. Oh, Cyber was not expecting that, was he? Highs has shut him down there from the big window. Highs can make that rotation in through luggage now and hopefully get himself back into the action. FaZe recognizing that they're just getting torn apart here on the flanks. They need to start focusing in onto the side. Rare will fall. Zastro had the heads up and pre-fired onto the 90. Highs the next. FaZe not been going their way, but all of a sudden they now have the momentum. Lender below. What is he going to be able to do here in this circumstance? He may be going for a run out, but he's going to be left wanting. Makes his way up Cool Vibes. Miracle already downed in the site. Pre-play C4 unsuccessful. Souls, is he going to collect this final kill? Yes, he is.
Pre-play C4, but did not time it well. There was a man swinging in right above it, but he just did not pull in on it. So FaZe were able to flood in again. I think FaZe doing very well to play those long angles and knowing that they're going to be at an advantage. You figure some of the battles that go on in towards VIP, I think that was shown. Again, you have to commend Fantasy for being able just to get a kill, but I mean, FaZe are doing so well to battle back. I think Bullet has played a massive part. I think he's really on top of his game today, which is always going to be a big bonus for FaZe. But you look at yesterday and how FaZe played yesterday, it wasn't, I would say, the greatest of challenges for FaZe. That's no disrespect to, obviously, how Malvinas played, but, you know, FaZe are obviously going to be a class above them. Let's not be around the bush. they're always going to be a class above them. This is going to be a much better matchup for FaZe to really see what they're worth. It's going to be a best of 3, of course, and I think FaZe right now, they have the same players showing up who did yesterday, which is going to be, you know, obviously a great bonus for them. We didn't see FURIA play yesterday. FURIA already locked in their top 4.
It is nice to see a FaZe continuing that performance. Obviously, as you mentioned, Marvinus yesterday, it wasn't the greatest contest for FaZe to go up against. I don't think it was necessarily the hardest game they've ever played in their lives. But it's nice to now see them stack up against FURIA, who we know to be a great side, who we know to be a team that are extremely consistent inside of the BR6. It's now nice to see how FaZe stack up against that. And for them to come off 4-2 at the first split, they're going to be very, very pleased with that one indeed. Now really all hinges on this defensive phase for them. Cyber, he heard the Gon 6 there. He knows that somebody's likely pushed straight on in. And who else is it going to be other than Fantasy? Loves entering on through this office. Cyber playing the patient game, not looking to give too much away. He knows that somebody's in there. He's seen the tracer rounds come through. He can hear everything that's going on. Fantasy doesn't seem to be paying any attention whatsoever. Unsure if the drones have actually worked ahead enough to find out that, yes, there is in fact somebody that's going to be inside of that security. Concerned with the vertical pressure now, likely going to get caught out, but no, it's a scrappy engagement. Fantasy, how does he get away with that one? Cyber whiffed just about every single shot, and Cameraman led him past. That's now Fantasy inside of that security. He can now rotate in through main. He's got a bit lucky there, Demo.
Oh, very, very lucky indeed, but maybe just poorly played by Cyber. We don't have to question Fantasy. That was all down to Cyber, and he completely bottled it. FURIA having that opening engagement where Bullet is suspicion, and they will go for the upstairs vertical angle for the soft wall. Brilliant work from FURIA. Great communication. Astro looks as if he's seen a ghost inside security. Takes a lot of damage. Cameraman also trying to play aggressive. Drops down, and surely Miracle would have heard that, and I think he has heard that. That information will be fed over to FURIA. That's just going to be another target that they need to try and nail. Keep in mind, Ollie, this is a Sunrise Blue Bar take, and it doesn't feel like it at all.
No, it really doesn't. FURIA going at this from every conceivable angle. Astro eventually shuts Fantasy down. Cameraman moves through security again, but at least we know that there's going to be nobody in the vicinity. Lender is going to be above, however. Good luck to try and make use of some of those vertical angles. Rare inside of the kitchen, being held by Souls. Lender doesn't know where Cameraman is. Cameraman could see a good couple of kills here. Rare just gets a glimpse, misses the shot. It is a trade, 1-for-1. Both players proving on the game there. Miracle trying to flash himself into office, not working off too much intel at this point. And Lender stacked up now. They need to try and make their way in through. They've still got a lot of utility to battle through. Souls, Toxic Babe canisters, 2 left in pocket. Souls and Astro, both one shot here, so just by sheer maths and probability, this round should go to FURIA, given that it's an equal 2 versus 2, but 2 on FaZe, they only need a smidgen of damage to take them out of action. Astro, more than certainly been misdrawn there. Nobody knows of his location. He just needs to wait for the right time to strike. The plant is going to be confirmed. Lender, he's trying to hold over. Oh no, the Toxic Babe canister. It's happening again, Demo. This happened the first time these two played. Lender, he's miles away. He's not going to be able to come in to do anything about this one. 3 seconds left, 2 seconds left. Both players from FaZe remain alive. How have they gotten away with that one?
I do not know. The smoke comes in big time. I don't know if that was the crucial point. I think the position that we seen the Jaeger in was much more important. I think Jaeger was ready to slip in and shoot the diffuse carrier in the head. The cover was not there. So yeah, I think FaZe, I suppose they'll just take what they can get, but maybe not the greatest of plays there from FURIA.
Not the greatest play at all. I think FURIA have really dropped the ball there on that one. There was a big opportunity for them to get that plant down. There was an opportunity for them to really watch a little bit more closely. Maybe spend a bit more time gathering the info. There was 4 drones alive. I'm unsure how many of those drones were in the hands of players that were up. But there was a distinct lack of information there, which really cost them in the end.
Where am I? I am very impressed with how FaZe have been able just to sort of scrappy this game, Ollie. they've been in positions where we're sitting here thinking they shouldn't win this, but they have been. So I think the character from FaZe has been very, very strong this game. And 5-2 they're sitting. This is a much different story than really what we've seen the last time they played each other. So FaZe have really turned the tables on them. I think last time, whenever we seen this kind of round 7, after round 7, I think it was, what, 4-3 at this stage? And I think it was FaZe who were leading in that game. So, you know, it's already a gap being established by them. So, yeah, very, very impressed by them.
Well, FaZe so far are making it look relatively easy, aren't they? You know, even in the situations that don't look very winnable. These guys are pulling up and they're clutching it out of counts. Obvious that Souls is going to be involved in that clutching one way or another, but Astro did a great job of staying alive as well. Opening engagement, Bullet immediately shuts highs down. FURIA getting caught out there very early on. Maybe a bit of unnecessary aggression being shown at the start of that round. FURIA can't win when they're fighting a full 5. It's going to be even more difficult when they're fighting only 4 versus 5.
Start from FaZe, they managed to rectify maybe an issue that they had, which was that opening kill engagement. You also see they put a Banshee in office. We know that FURIA, they are a big fan of taking in towards that office side. They have tendencies just to rush in and kind of send Fantasy into his own laurels and see what he can do. I'm loving this right now from FaZe also, because look at Cyber. He's in a Rooney. He's on top of a soft hatch. All he has to punch that once, and he is down in towards office. So I think that might be a potential for them. Astro will take the swing as Cyber also dropped down. Great engagement from FaZe, really trapping that member of FURIA. The one punch from the Rooney. That just, it's such a great mechanic sometimes, and it helps you out in those situations that maybe you wouldn't expect it to have good value.
I think something that is expected now is that FaZe know exactly where Fantasy is going to be entering through every single round. That office area is being so heavily contested. And it's not somewhere that FURIA are very successful at the moment. 5 versus 3 for FaZe. 1 minute left. All the pressure on FURIA. They're the guys that have to now try and do something. Cyber has a chance at a kill onto Rare here. He's watching the bottom of Cool Vibes, but obviously Rare is inside of Sunrise. Could look to choose to make that rotation, but as soon as he crosses, he's going to give the game away. Chooses to burn the Aruni Gate and then maybe dips himself back out there. Bullet seeing a little bit of pressure and damage now come in from above. Lender going to be playing on through that hatch. I don't think that FURIA have got this time to be really taking the time with this push and being sort of very slow and methodical. They need to be getting something going here. There's, like you say, 20 seconds left. Now we're jumping into Rotero drones. This isn't looking great. This is going to be the last few seconds, a single doorway push, and it's going to be ending up with everybody getting mown down yet again. Lender looking to push his way into main. Rare still not made his way in through security, and well, it is just coming down as expected. We're not going to see all the kills. We'll certainly see the clock run out, though. FaZe managed to grab 2 there as FURIA put a desperate attempt at trying to make something happen, but the writing was on the wall for that one.
Just bit of a sad round. I think that's the best way to determine it. You sat there 20 seconds, Ollie, and you looked at the positions, and you just knew it was going to end in tears, really, for FURIA. I don't know what it is with the time management from FURIA in that round, and I think FURIA have been fairly consistent this season of, you know, making things happen, making big moves, and that's probably one of the poorest rounds I think we've seen this season from them. You know what they were doing for kind of half the round. Lost the opening engagements, didn't have any trades for it as well. You think of that guy pushing in towards security, nobody was there for a refrag. I know, just a couple of sloppy mistakes here and there for FURIA. But FaZe now, they have match point, and I don't see that slipping from them anytime soon.
No, you've got to give the benefit of the doubt, really, haven't you? You've got to say FaZe have really been consistent, and they deserve this game. You know, from the siege that we've seen, this scoreline entirely represents it. Sure, there was one round that maybe could have gone to FURIA. I think about the 2 versus 2 with Astro and Souls, got both very low.
Yeah.
That was maybe their opportunity and maybe a bit of a chance at grabbing some of that momentum back. But FURIA look a bit downtrodden at the moment. Upstairs into hookah and billiards we go. FaZe. 1 round is all that stands between them and map 1 inside of this best of 3.
And know that we've kind of mentioned that this is the pick from FURIA. They picked Coastline. I wouldn't say it favors them, though. I think both sides, you know, as we've seen from the regular season, both sides can play this map as well as any other team. It's more the Villa pick, which I worry for FURIA. FURIA couldn't even beat W7M on Villa. That was the bottom place team. Well, they did finish, or was it? No, they finished ninth, didn't they? They finished ninth. Because obviously we kind of had that last minute drama where Santos had to beat Liquid, but then they couldn't. So,
but stayed bottom for the majority of the stage. Yep.
Still a weakened, you know, a weaker team in the league, and they get beat 7-5 by them on Villa. So I think that doesn't bode well for FURIA going into the next map, and it could be a 2-0 from FaZe. Might be a little bit too early for me to say that, but I think with how FaZe are consistently playing today, and they've managed to go here and just starting to dumpster FURIA left, right, and center, Villa might be even worse of a story for FURIA. Who knows?
Quite possibly. It's not looking like the best to start. It's going to lose highs early on. Fancy in with the refrag. Starting to move through now and pressure into Sunrise. Got a little bit of an idea as these bullets are just going to be flying through back and forth. Bullet decides, you know what? I'm out of here. I don't need to be challenging onto that. That is a game of chance, my good friend. Getting wall banged through a soft wall. One-shot headshot, it's not something that you really want to be playing around with. You could very easily get unfortunate and give everything away. Especially when dealing with a billiards defense. You don't need to necessarily be keeping too much control downstairs unless you're going to be looking to play a C4 late. Cameraman, though, he's dipped himself down. Found one onto Fantasy. Miracle just missed out on that trade as Bullet's moving his way through 90. Still a very unsure clear from FURIA. It's not typical that you would see so many bodies trying to take that ground floor when attacking into a billiards and hookah. You would typically expect to see people on aquarium balcony and moving through that side, on hookah balcony and looking to try and pressure in and remove the player on bars, but that hasn't really been a focus so far from FURIA.
And FURIA, the time is slowly starting to tick away from them. 40 seconds, no side control at the moment, only starting to rotate towards Aquarium. Still have 2 Toxic Babies to go through, 2 C4s, also tons of denial for FaZe to really see this map out, and Astro, the confident, swings onto Rare, finds the headshot. There's a second for you, Miracle down, and Lenda on the window. Astro is looking for the jump out, but Bullet will have the refrag. FaZe make it look easy. Didn't break a sweat ollie in Coastline.
No, a very quick first half indeed. FaZe are going to be very pleased with that. Make no mistake. 7 rounds to 2 is a stomping in anybody's book. And that is exactly what we've witnessed there. FaZe coming out and just showing us exactly why they were happy to go back to